Hi, welcome to another fantastic episode with your boy Franklin. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the 50-50 diaspora life. Actually, this topic, I was actually sat a few days ago. I was working on a list of topics that I'm going to, record in advance for the channel and stuff. And then an email popped in from one of the subscribers, whose name I'm not going to mention, a female. And she basically is just moved abroad to the UK with a partner. So the long and short of everything is she is struggling to adapt, and I mean it's early days, it's understandable, but she's basically moaning and I suppose the mentality in Africa whereby some women they kind of lean back and expect the man to pick up a bulk of the responsibility. And so, I mean, if the man has got it like that, there was nothing, wrong with that. So she got here, and then there was a bit of a monetary pressure, and she basically is just struggling to adapt and being able to blend with the environment and stuff. Well, one of the fundamental problems that people who have just traveled abroad, it could be the UK, it could be the US, it could be Germany, Amsterdam, whatever part of the world that you've maybe gone to join your partner. Now, back in Nigeria, there are things that are totally different compared with life abroad. First of all, here, virtually all your bills are due monthly. Be it rent, be it mortgage, and the rest of the bills. I'm going to go through them in a bit. A bulk of people, diasporans that live abroad, a very high percentage earn averagely. That's a fact. We have a very high percentage of people that earn averagely, and then you have a lower percentage of people that have moved up from average earning to sort of like maybe managerial role based on experiences, and they've sort of moved into a band of earning a bit more money. And then you have the ones, a very small percentage who are at the top, who have very rewarding careers, like they're medical doctors, and they might be lawyers, and they might be self-employed, or they've managed to set up a business and stuff, and that puts them in a band where they're earning reasonable amount of money. But for the most part, most people earn averagely. And I kid you not, the monthly outgoings, I mean, it depends on your lifestyle, but the monthly outgoings are inevitable, okay? Your lifestyle, who you are, what you do, apart from the mandatory outgoings, then your additional lifestyle and what you do and stuff determines how ginormous your monthly bills are. But I'm going to run through some things, okay? Then I'll back it up with the rest of what I'm about to say. It's very common, like for example, if a couple has got kids, life abroad is different to Nigeria. In Nigeria, you might be able to leave your children with maybe your mom, your sister. Even you might be able to find someone, they call them nannies or something that do daycare, and you might be able to bargain like really cheap amount of money that you can pay them and stuff. Mommy, this and this. You always know someone that you can leave. Help me pick my kids. We call it school run here. Let me pick my kids from school. So whilst you get back from work, or your husband might be working full time, and then you find yourself, maybe you have a shop. The woman might have a shop where you're selling something or running a business, any other type of business. And then you might be able to shuttle between school and shop and leave your child with someone, or even in Nigeria, some people have house helps, like maids that can go with maybe drivers and go pick them up, and for as low as 20,000 naira, even in some cases 19,000 naira a month, people can hire a driver, believe me. Now abroad, it's a totally different ball game. Most couples, as soon as you settle down, some people even travel abroad they might already have one or two kids. And then when you get here, even if you don't have kids, when you get here, you're going to start forming your family, give birth to one or two kids. Childcare costs are absolutely backbreaking. They are crazy. Childcare costs are mad. They are inevitable. There is nothing, because here, everybody's going to work. Everybody and their mama is grinding. If you find elderly people that are at home, they're probably retired. And also, in order for someone to be a childminder, some people do it underground, where you leave kids with people that are not licensed. It can get you a criminal conviction if you are caught, because if anything happens to the child and then the school or something refer it to the social services, they start investigating about the welfare of the child. The person that look after the child gets in trouble. You that left the child with somebody who is not licensed. So childcare costs are crazy. So the moment you have 1, 2 kids or 3 kids, it becomes really expensive. Now, you've got the childcare that you have to pay weekly in most cases. You've got the rent, right? Some people have mortgages. For example, it depends on what part of the country you live. London, for example, is a prime city, it's the capital of this country. London is very expensive. As an example, it's the same thing when you go to the States, cities like New York, Washington, D.C. The major cities are very expensive. London is very expensive. You can get like a private 1-bedroom flat, a 2-bedroom flat, £1,500 a month. £1,300, £1,400, depending on what part of London. All these things are due monthly. Council tax. People don't pay that in Nigeria, You've got credit card bills. If you have any credit cards, you've got maybe any bank loans and stuff, student loans. These are the deductions that come out of people's wages that you've got to pay for every month. You've got your car insurance. You've got your road tax. That's something we have to pay here. If you have a car, your car is roadworthy, past MOT, it has a valid MOT. You're driving from A to B, you need a road tax. Then you have the additional cost of car maintenance. And you have your food, weekly food shopping, right? Food grocery shopping. And you have your paying for gas, electric, water. All these things are due monthly. Then you have your broadband, internet services. You have your telephone, your mobile phone, your landline. And the list goes on. Let me tell you, I kid you not. If you watch, please go and watch my previous episodes. This is why I try to say to people that want to relocate abroad. Abroad life is not a joke. So the reason I'm saying all this is, and I'm not saying, in Africa, people don't have, bills and stuff. You do have bills, I get it. But it's not, you cannot compare it with what happens abroad. Except if he chooses to say, hey man, I'm going to clear all this 70% of the monthly bills. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'll take care of that. Okay, great stuff. But realistically, you're going to have to do it 50-50, man. That's the truth about the abroad life. So this woman in question, there's a pressure on her. I think the husband is trying to get her to, get a job because he's paid a lot of money to. Believe me, he's in debt. You have to get up and support your husband. Believe me. And can I just give you a very wonderful advice? And I hope someone else might benefit from this. Don't go to random people and start talking badly about your husband. Because if you do, you will regret it in the not so distant future. You will soon understand, your eyes will get opened, and sometimes the damage might have been done. Most people don't have a better life than you think they do. It's your boy Franklin, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye now.